Perfect Turd Podcast, episode 82, Lamar. It's Shark Week.
Oh, boy. Oof. Well, Joe, we had a good time with Shark Week last year, and we decided to bring it back. And, you know, there's this subgenre of B movies with just sharks. Not sharks. Even real sharks a lot of the time, just sharks, like, you know, CGI sharks, you know, that can float on land. And we decided to do that again, and we chose 3 new movies, Joe.
Well, we got 3 doozies here. Shark Exorcist, Shark Encounters of the Third Kind, and Sharktopus, starring our friend Eric Roberts.
Oh, man. And Sarah Michael Lane.
Yeah,
she's a B-movie person, but yeah, whew, boy.
Last year, our winner was Bad CGI Sharks.
Well deserved.
So we're going to see for the second annual Shark Week Showdown who's going to be our winner. So we have to do our categories. What are the categories?
The danger of the shark, the use of the shark, the CGI, which, I have some thoughts to say about the CGI sharks, and the characters and the plot around, like, everything.
Category 1, the danger of the shark.
Okay. Here's the thing. I'm going to start with Shark Exorcist. We talked about how they just use sharks. So the danger of this shark is weird. I don't know how to explain it. Like, the shark pretty much bites a woman, right?
Yeah.
And she then becomes possessed by an evil shark spirit.
Yep.
Which then she lures people into water.
Yep.
To get killed by a shark.
Yep. He's not particularly, I mean, he just eats people, I guess.
Well, the shark does the same exact moves, Joe. It's not even.
We'll talk about that
eyes.
in the CGI section.
Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, so the shark just eats people, but it's not like threatening.
But he is controlled by Satan. Good old Beelzebub. You have to give him that much credit.
Yeah.
And then you have Shark Encounters of the Third Kind, which is almost kind of similar. The shark is controlled by aliens.
Yes, aliens come to our planet and control sharks to eat people.
And then you have Sharktopus, which is a half shark, half octopus that was created by the government. So I'm voting for Sharktopus. I think he's the most dangerous. He actually comes out of the water, grabs people. So is it safe to say that we give 2 points for Sharktopus there?
Yeah. Just go ahead and write it down.
All right, Sharktopus in the lead, 2-0.
Yeah. Yes.
We move on. The best use of a shark premise.
We kind of covered it before with the danger of the shark, but
it's got to be Sharktopus again for me. Like, they're the only one that actually, the other movies get muddled down with other stuff. Those movies are all over the place, and it's like the shark isn't even hardly the focal point of those movies.
Well, you combine sharks with Satan, nuns, and an exorcism in Shark Exorcist.
Yeah.
And then in Shark Encounters of the Third Kind, you combine them with aliens and a plot about buried treasure.
Yeah.
From World War II.
The Exorcist, like the idea of having like the devil in the shark or whatever, or the aliens with the shark from the other movie, those on the surface seem like good ideas. But you don't really get much of that in those movies. So I'm voting Sharktopus again for use of shark.
I think we're going to have a clear winner, but we're going to continue, even though our next category, Joe.
CGI. The best way to describe this category, Lamar, is a race to the bottom.
That's good. I like that. Yes, it's very true.
We need to talk about Shark Exorcist. What was going on there?
Or the lack thereof, Joe.
Basically, they got a hold of, the one kind of stock footage of a shark. They made his eyes glow a little bit, and it was just a repeat of that one shot.
Yeah. And even when they got eaten, you didn't really see it. They just went into the water, blood.
Yeah. What about Shark Encounters of the Third Time? Now, There was a mix, aside from CGI. If you just go from visual effects and practical effects, they did have some alien makeup, which wasn't good, but it wasn't awful at the same time.
Right.
But what about the shark
Here's
itself?
how I describe it, Joe. There are people that drink alcohol, and you go to parties,
Yeah.
and someone has the great idea. Let's make a little punch bowl, and we're gonna just take all the alcohol and just put it in the same thing. Um, However, sometimes that doesn't work out very well. That's what happened with Shark Encounters of the Third Kind, because you have pasted sharks that go across the screen. You have like a styrofoam looking shark,
Yeah.
and then like a bunch of stuff is like just green screen and stuff like that. So yeah, it's like they tried all these things, but it didn't work out. It was just bad. It was just
Right. Honestly, Sharktopus wasn't much better than there was moments at the beginning of the movie where I was like, oh, the CG, the effects aren't going to be too bad. They actually had like a shark fin in the water.
Yes.
The CGI, and then all of a sudden it went over the top with the CGI. And there was a funny shot too of Eric Roberts when he was shooting at the shark. That was like the most awful green screen. But if we have to pick a winner, which was the best, effects, which one are you picking?
I have to go with Sharktopus.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, you have to.
And they had the bigger budget too, by the way. That it was made by some like a bigger studio.
But isn't that kind of a little bit more sad? Because like compared to the other movies, because I watched them basically in the order what we're talking about, I was like, wow, they didn't do that much better with a bigger budget.
So here's where we stand. Sharktopus has a 6-0 lead, so they've essentially won. But let's go into our last category just for the fun of it here. The characters slash storylines.
This is going to be a tough one because I know who I think is going to win. Shark Exorcist. Mentioned before, a woman gets bit by a shark that's possessed by the devil, and then she lures people to get bitten by the shark. The problem is that there's so much meandering.
Yeah,
from
meandering.
The plot.
There was a 5-minute scene maybe of a guy taking pictures of a woman in a bikini while she was sunbathing that really had not much to do with anything.
Nothing at all. And then she gets killed.
Yeah.
In movie world, you would think the guy would get killed.
Yeah.
Because he was being a creep.
Yeah. And then you have Shark Encounters of the Third Kind.
Oh, God.
Where the premise is, basically the aliens are controlling the sharks. But then you have this woman that's a therapist that's taking over her father's therapy business of people that have had alien encounters. The guy that made this movie is the same guy that made Jurassic Prey, which is a movie we reviewed. He seems to like to have this thing where there's a crazy plot and then a subplot of a heist of some kind.
Yeah, he does.
So you had that. And then Sharktopus was the most standard, right?
Well, yeah, because the characters actually had something to do with the monster. Like Eric Roberts, he's developing this new weapon for the military, and it gets out of hand. He hires a guy that he, fired before.
So they do have the most fleshed out stories and characters.
Or they actually stay focused, Joe.
True. But my vote is actually going to Shark Encounters of the Third Kind because the characters are so kooky that I couldn't help laughing at it. And I found it entertaining, where I did find Sharktopus, while it made the most sense, it was also the most vanilla.
I have to say Sharktopus because, okay, I see what you're saying about Shark Encounters, but it seemed so fucking random that it had nothing to do. Like a woman that has a therapy center for people who have alien encounters.
Yeah.
Okay. Sharktopus, yes, vanilla, but I could follow the characters and shit like that.
I just thought the characters were so kooky that I was like, yeah, I like it. I'll vote for their characters.
All right.
Well, we have a clear-cut winner here, Lamar. We got a 7-1. Just a beatdown. Sharktopus is the winner of our second annual Shark Week Showdown.
Yeah, and people might be like, well, it's not technically a shark. Leave us alone, okay? You didn't watch these movies. Okay? Leave us alone, damn it. But yeah, Sharktopus, it was I think it was from sci-fi and shit like that. So.
Probably.
So,
All right. I guess that wraps this one up then.
Yep.
Shark Week Showdown. Have a good Shark Week, everyone. Peace.
Deuces.